Well, friends, it's a joy to be here and to kick off our summer season together. You all mean so much to me. Thank you. And in the spirit of generosity, that $300 honorarium that you normally give to speakers, well, I cannot in good conscience accept it, any more than you in good conscience could give it. Already the worship committee's worried. 44 years ago, I was homeless and hungry. And a woman fed me. I was thirsty, and she gave me drink. And just a few months ago, she celebrated her 95th birthday. And I am so grateful and so blessed to share that she's here with us, with her daughter, Faye, my beloved sister, Faye. Bertha and Faye, I love you, and thank you for joining us. You mean the world to me. Thank you. You too. Look, said Jesus. Look at the lilies in the field. Look at the birds in the air and how they never seem to worry. Look at the lamb. Look at the sheep. Look at the sparrows. Jesus was always asking us to look. He was one of the first biomimics, asking us to look to nature to help us feel good inside. Today, scientists are looking to nature to solve problems in architecture, transportation, energy, fashion, sanitation. But one area remains uncharted territory: the spirit, the heart, our mental health and well-being. And now, for the first time, we are decoding the flourishing skills of tens of thousands of animals and plants, mapping them to every human emotion, and creating a new treasury of nature-inspired wisdom. With a fresh pair of eyes, we are looking at the birds and the lilies and wondering, well, why don't they worry? And what can we learn from them? This is the new frontier of bioflourishing. Friends, last summer I stood before you and asked you to close your eyes and fast forward to 2030, to a time when we would use expanded reality to enter the gardens of our minds. And not just an individual garden, but a community of holographic gardens where no matter the language or gender or race or creed, from anywhere around the world, we could move our bodies in communion and pass the petunias of peace, the tulips of tenderness, the honeysuckle of hope. And just 10 short months later, artificial intelligence explodes into the public consciousness, and now we say to the AI, take us inside the bodies and the brains of the birds and the lilies and show us the secrets of their flourishing. Show us how to see and soar like the eagles, how to bend with the bamboo when the winds get strong, and how to dance in the rain like the peacocks. Who saw that marvelous film, My Octopus Teacher? It was so heartwarming to watch two different forms of intelligence touching one another for the first time. We are at the dawn of a revolution in Bioinspired Personality Science. The Big Five is about to become the Big Billion. as we modeled the adaptive behaviors of plants and animals and learn how to be in biological and ecological and cosmological communion with all living creatures who all share this same cosmic ancestor. Trillions of bacteria and fungi move from the inner to the outer, and the outer to the inner. There is so much exchange between the inner and the outer that an international team of biologists recently challenged the very idea of a biological individual. The African sages call it Ubuntu. I am because we are. The boundaries between us and them, animate and inanimate, conscious and unconscious, are becoming ever more blurry. There's even a new scientific model for this called Doughnut Psychology, which shows how your inner health and societal health and planetary health are in a symbiotic and circular relationship. If the fires rage in Canada and the air is dirty in New York and Chicago, and you have trouble breathing, and you feel anxiety and helpless and demotivated, you may be less inclined to participate in activities that can heal our planet. So we asked the AI to help us capture the spirit of our predicament, the zeitgeist. And it returned a portrait of a screaming tulip, which is now a series of blog posts. Even the tulips are screaming. Climate change is not just an earth crisis, it's an emotional crisis. And now suddenly we are at a unique inflection point of history where all information, all technology, and all emotions are merging into the singularity. And we are here, our beloved community is here to tilt the singularity toward love. We carry a torch that goes back thousands of years. It's the torch of love. We're here not just to reduce carbon emissions, but to reduce anger emissions and hatred emissions and any emissions that demonize the other. Toxic emotional emissions are just as damaging to our planet as carbon emissions. And demonizing the other is not the answer. Adding toxin to toxin is not how we heal. We have an awesome power now, and with this awesome power comes an awesome responsibility. With the new generation of virtual reality tools, we are just now able to realize the great dream of William Blake, to hold infinity in the palm of our hands, to see a heaven in a wildflower, and like the butterflies, to pollinate our planet with beauty and kindness. In the ancient Greek, the word for butterfly was psyche. The study of psychology is the study of transformation. And now we are inventing new tools and a new language of transformation, a new verbal and visual and tactile language in which metaphors and ideas become living, breathing, three-dimensional realities. Inspired by the elephants of Africa, We are inventing a new language of empathy. From the dolphins, we're learning how to sense those invisible feelings and how to echolocate our emotions. From the giraffes, we're learning how to look from a higher perspective. From the iguana, how to adapt to changing emotional landscapes. From the tortoise, we're building new models of patience to move with mindfulness at a pace that allows us to observe and conserve. From the bees, we're using swarm intelligence to build new models of cooperation. We're learning new things about tenacity from the honey badger, resilience from the penguins, persistence from the beavers, playfulness from the otters. And we are just now discovering a new symphonic language as we decipher the songs of the humpback whale. Now we can begin to experience in the flesh the sounds and sensibilities, and maybe even the spirituality of other species. Who knows, maybe the dolphins are poets and the potus are playwrights. Marcel Proust dreamed of this day when we could look through the eyes of 100 others, and soon, very soon, we will be able to look through the eyes of 1 billion others. What a great use for virtual and augmented reality and AI to help us experience the awe and the wonder of a diversity of realities. Plant sentience, animal sentience, human sentience, and now machine sentience, all coming together to form this new field of bioflourishing. A field powered not just by algorithms, but by Wellgorithms. Someday, said Chardin, after mastering the winds and the waves, we will harness the energies of love, and for a second time, we will have discovered fire. That day is today. 2023 is the year when we awakened collectively to this new fire. The kingdom, the heart space of heaven is within us. And ever since the emergence of the Word, this inner fire, this awareness of an inner self has been expanding and expanding and expanding. And suddenly, as the AI assumes godlike powers, we are at risk of it contracting and contracting and contracting, losing our inner selves, losing our inner rights, our capacity to think and feel freely, as outside forces seek to manipulate our emotions and the emotions of our children for power and profit. I know, friends, I know a reasonable analysis of the existential threats of AI may lead us to conclude that it's hopeless. But analysis is not destiny, and despair is not a curse. It's a call. Generation after generation, the breakthroughs come from those whose dreams at first seem so unreasonable. If our great-grandchildren have one request from us, it's this: that we walk the talk. That if we preach love, we be love. Everyone keeps asking, now that we have AI and ML and XR, where's the killer app? The real killer app is the one that puts love into action And the real billionaires are those whose lives enrich us with the fruit of the Spirit. Who wants to be a billionaire in love? A billionaire in peace? A billionaire in kindness? Sylvia, you want to be a billionaire? Jane, you want to be a billionaire? Orlando, no, you don't forget you, Orlando. Especially because of you, Orlando, I am a billionaire inside. Because of you. Billions of years ago, from the heart of a supernova exploded the building blocks of life and the building blocks of love. Like a comet streaking across the night sky, love is the energy and the wonder that we experience here together every Sunday when we pass the peace, or give someone a hug, or lend our hearts to a purpose greater than ourselves. As Freeman Dyson said, the more I examine the universe and its architecture, the more evidence I find that the universe must have known in some sense that we were coming. Well, if the universe knew we were coming, then that means our bang was not just big, it was beloved. Friends, we come from the beloved bang, from hydrogen to helium to lithium to love. This is our great story. And we have a chance, a once-in-a-species chance, to catch this cosmic wave of love from beloved bang to beloved community. Every seed is infused with this beloved intelligence. Even a mustard seed is the perfect expression of nature's genius, that no matter how small the seed, how dark the soil, or how unlikely your metamorphosis, you are destined to have life and have it in abundance. There are seeds within you that have waited 13.8 billion years to blossom. And as the world changes more in the next 2 years than in the previous 2,000, we need you. We need your unique soil and your unique sunshine to breathe life into our new garden of love.
I feel like you just mic dropped, you know? Thank you, Martin. There is wisdom in our worship team. Amen. We are blessed.